Yep, 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 yep.
Hey, at least I'm watching. I'm the only one watching.
All right, there we go. Sounds on, brilliant. Let's go. Yep, here we are. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, hey, say hi.
Hi.
The kid says hi. Big Mama's in the kitchen. Little lick the kid says hi. Big Mama's in the kitchen. We have seen it's been boring AF at the breeders. At the feeders.
Yeah.
This is America. We should call them breeders, though, shouldn't
At
we?
the beginning, we had a lot until
The
Mom
bird
messed it up.
breeders.
Mom messed it up.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah, 21 viewers. 21.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. That's right.
Ma'am.
You know, it happens. Um, yeah. So it's we the kid wanted to see some birds. I set up the camera, and there have been no birds. It's been a desert. It's been a bird desert. So put up the reflective film up there uh the other day, and so because number one, I don't want them to see me, and number two, hoping to get seeing it as coming up on here on the breeding season here. If I can get some of these males to attack the glass, to attack their reflection in the glass. Yeah, do a little. This is Sparta thing. Yeah, it's a good one. Um, Family and I just watched 300. Well, I kind of they watched the kid. The kid watched it. He's like, "What were we talking about?" The guy decided to the Battle of Thermopylae. Do you remember? You don't remember? He's enthralled in himself. Selfish child. Who would have thought it? What? Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, yeah. I was asking if you remembered what got us into the Battle of Thermopylae and how we ended up watching. How I ended up letting it. No, it was well. No, he'd asked something specific about maybe it was anyway. I ended up explaining how the Spartans took on the Persians in the Battle of Thermopylae. They let him down into a bottleneck and just I don't know the whole thing. So and then he's I was like he's having a hard time picturing it. So I was like, all right, well they happen to make a movie, so we sat down and watched this movie, and there's a lot of violence. It's a very violent movie, but it's also historical. And I'm like, so explaining to him, like, okay, this stuff happened, kind of. So I had to make that kind of semi clear. So anyway, you liked the movie, didn't you? Shut up. Did you like the movie? Yeah. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite character? Do you remember? Was it the Was it all the abs? What was it? There, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't remember really. You really don't really get anybody else's name other than Xerxes and Leonidas. Oh, and the leader who led the guys, led the Spartans. Leonidas, the king. Yeah, yeah. Dude, Xerxes. From what I remember, Xerxes wasn't as evil of a guy that as the 300 movie makes him out to be. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, he could have been like Genghis Khan was too. They were like that. They'd like they let's keep your king, keep your land, keep your religions, gods or whatever. Bye bye. Have a good day. School. Nice pink hat. I like that pink hat, buddy. Hey, he did. You just didn't hear him. Oh, he didn't. Oh, I wish he'd come over and said to the camera. Bye. I don't know. To all you guys. What are you gonna do? All you guys. All you two guys. So and then Xerxes. So yeah, Xerxes did that in Genghis Khan. And then if you still resisted, he'd rip down your city wall brick by brick, and then he'd kill all your men. He'd kill all your men and rape all your women and enslave everyone else. And he was pretty awful. And they really came up with some awful creatively awful ways to to mete out this savage. I don't even want to call it. It's not justice. It's just still what's called savagery. So it's pretty. It's like damn. You really like they really thought of some awful stuff back then. So anyway, I was listening to something on Genghis Khan and something on Lex Friedman. Uh, he's wow. What are we talking? He's got a story. Anyway, go check him out sometime. So, hey, let's just jump right into ornithology, I guess. Yeah. I left my drink over there. Oh well. I'll pause later and go get it. Wait, no, it's right here. Yay. So, we finished up the. I have to flip to where I'm gonna be here. We finished up. Yep. Brilliant. Let's see where we're up. Past that. Past that. All right, cool. Here we go. Flight. Let's talk about flight. I'm just kidding. Well, who knows? We're waiting for when we're going to get our greeting from the Great White North, from our friends from the Great White North. Soon enough, I imagine. Anyway, let's learn about birds when we get ready for work. Flight. Flight is the central avian adaptation. Yet birds do not merely fly. They are masters of the fluid that is air, just as fish are the masters of the fluid that is water. Various kinds of birds can hover in one place, dive at breathtaking speeds, fly upside down and backward, and soar casually for days on end. In their evolution, birds have exploited an extraordinary range of specialized modes of flight. We begin this chapter by focusing on the anatomical basis of avian flight, particularly the skeleton and flight muscles. Then, because aerodynamic principles are fundamental to understanding avian flight, we review the nature of an airfoil, the phenomenon of lift, and the countering forces of drag. These affect the performance of a bird's wings and ultimately determine both mode of flight and the cost of flight power. We discuss hummingbirds. Hummingbirds? No. We discuss hummingbirds as master of flight control. Well, everybody knows what a hummingbird is. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to get off on a crazy tangent now. At the opposite extreme are flightless birds, which have repeatedly evolved on islands without predators and elsewhere. Some diving birds, such as penguins, have traded aerial flight for underwater flight using highly modified flipper-like wings. I don't know. The kid headed is over there somewhere. It's purple. Purple. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've recently been trying to get more footage of these birds at the feeder in slow motion, because I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the human condition that we want to see something new and interesting, but and kind of examine the intricacies of things. But I've tried to get things in slow motion here so that I can study more intricately the dynamics of flight with these birds, because it's really interesting. And I've been uploading them to the channel, so it's been fun trying to get them in the act, and I've been trying to get. I'm trying to get like a squabble, because squabbles happen so fast. They're so random. They happen so fast, and I don't know. I just want to get one so I can kind of see it in slow mo of all the. It's like, have you ever seen the it's like those movies, the Sherlock Holmes movies, Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. He'd like break down his fight before he fought. It's like that. I want to see like the breakdown of the fight. It's cool. I don't know. Bird fight. The avian skeleton. Yeah, sorry, baby. Oh, Big Mom's car broke down. It's dead. We got to get her a new car. So, anybody have a car out there? Let me know. We're in the market for a car. All right. The avian skeleton. Is it? Is that right? Is it? Oh, yay! Okay, thank you. Oh, Mama Bait. Mama Bait. Well, okay, you've all heard of Berkeley's Power Bait, right? Now, no offense to Berkeley, but Mama got you, dude. Mama got you, dude. Mama Bait is guaranteed to work or your money back. I guarantee. I'm the only one who buys it. So, but I know it's guaranteed to work or my money back. Telling you, Mama Bait does it. Mama Bait is Mama Bait's a milkshake, really. You all know what that means. Okay. The avian skeleton. The articulated skeleton of a bird is a vertebrate skeleton, a vertebrate skeleton, uniquely structured for flight. Fusions and reinforcements of lightweight bones make the avian skeleton both powerful and delicate. Unusual articulations of the joints not only make flight motions possible, but also brace the body against the attendant stresses. The skeleton strategically supports the large muscles that provide the power for flight. Boy, I'm having a hard time seeing here. Okay, I'm going to situate myself a little tiny bit better. You're going to see me in the reflection. I expected there to be more light over here. Sit next to the window, but there just isn't this at this time of morning. Oh, by the way, I got to take her to, seeing as the car doesn't work, I'm going to be taking her to work here in a little bit. So whenever that's going to be, I'm going to probably just pause this and we'll have to resume it another time, I suppose. It's not like a bird graveyard. It's just a bird desert out here. Cross sections of bird bones reveal light, air-filled structures, unlike the relatively dense, solid bones of many terrestrial animals. The hollow long bones of the wings are particularly strong given their mass, and in many cases are strengthened further by internal struts. Instead of a heavy, bony bony jaw filled with dense teeth, okay, birds have a lightweight, toothless bill designed to flex and to bite with great power. Maybe this has been edited since then. Because the bills are hollow, even the large protuberant bills of toucans are, for example, not any burden as they seem, or not the burden that they seem. I really should drink more coffee, I think. The avian skeleton is constructed to withstand the strain imposed by flight. The avian thorax is more rigid and better reinforced than that of a reptile. They have a schematic, a diagram of the anatomy of a chicken. I think is that chicken. Yeah, it looks like a chicken to me. So yeah, it's like the fully ossified dorsal and ventral ribs provide a strong connection between the backbone and the breastbone. Horizontal bony flaps called uncinate processes. I'm going to show you those in a second. Those are pretty cool. Extend posteriorly from the vertical upper ribs to overlap the adjacent rib and reinforce the rib cage. In addition, limited articular surfaces help to stabilize the partially fused thoracic vertebrae by restricting their movement. So here's the diagram of this chicken. Let me show you this. So I hope you can read that. But anyway, that's what we're talking about right now in this paragraph. Oh man, listen to her working in that room. The pectoral includes the sternum, coracoids, and scapulae. The sternum or breastbone is a dominant feature of the avian skeleton, and usually I feel like I've read this before to you people. What do you mean, you people? Sorry. Right, sorry. It's a dominant feature of the avian skeleton and usually has a large keel or carina, C-A-R-I-N-A, to which the major flight muscles attach. So that's your breath. That's your the brand between your where your ribs connect in the middle. That's what they're talking about. Only theirs doesn't just connect. It comes out like a blade. It's because it has to attach. Well, I mean, eat a chicken sometime. Go get yourself a rotisserie chicken, okay, and start eating the breast first because they're the best. What? Okay, so sorry. Um, and the part right there in the middle, where the best where the best part attaches, there's keel. Okay. Um, we also have the wishbone too, which is the coracoid, I think. Yeah, but let me get back to the thing. What's the major flight? Okay, so a bird's flying ability is correlated to the size of its keel. Flightless birds lack the keeling completely, so they'll have a flat sternum like we do. The furcula or wishbone, it's furcula, that's right. The furcula or wishbone, actually a fused pair of clavicles or collarbones, and the coracoids, anterior elements of the pectoral girdle, are struts that resist the potentially chest-crushing pressures created by the wing strokes during flight. So, what that's saying is, without the wishbone, the furcula, which the wishbone, and these coracoids, which are uh, these structures on the anterior elements of the pectoral girdle. So let me see this through right down. Where's there's the first one, sternum. Okay, so that's not shown on this. But anyway, they're talking about the keel area right here. This is where all these widened out, elongated bones is where all these muscles are being attached because they're being used to produce so much power for this animal. So let me find out where it was here. Yeah, dorsally situated on top of the rib cage are the long saber-like scapulae, each of which joins anteriorly to the coracoid and furcula to complete a triangular system of struts. Are we leaving soon?
No,
It's 8. Okay. Okay, right on. An acute angle between the attachment of the scapula to the coracoid reduces the stretch of the dorsal elevator muscles, which help pull the humerus, or the upper wing bone, upward, and thereby increases the force they can exert. This angle is oblique in flightless birds. The avian wing is a modified forelimb. The humerus, ulna, and radius are homologous to limb bones of tetrapods. There's four-legged creatures. Large articulating surfaces at the joints between the limb bones allow allow the resting wing to neatly to fold. Oh God, I gotta go back. The humerus, ulna, and radius are homologous to the limb bones of tetrapods. Large articulating surfaces at the joints between the limb bones allow the resting wing to fold neatly against the body. These elaborate joints also permit the wing to change positions and angles during takeoff, flight, and landing. When locked, these joints are strong enough to withstand the powerful torque created during wing strokes. There she is. There she is. She's Big Mama. Here she comes, Miss Amanda. What'd she make? Looks good. These birds eat better than me, dude. Hold on a sec. Put it. Where's she going? What's she put in there? There's no. I mean, she's tempting him. Here she comes, Big Mama Ick, serving up the goodness. Serving up the goodness. And this. Yes. Tell me that's not adorable. What's she doing, Norm? Norman. All right. Yeah. That's our place. Oh, yeah, let's knock down here. All right.
What?
The dog's sitting going, woo, what's she doing? It's great. Yeah, it's great. Let's see. The fused hand and finger bones help provide strength and rigidity in the outer wing skeleton. Most of the wrist bones, the carpals and metacarpals, are fused into a single element called the carpometacarpus. Carpometacarpus, which is spelled exactly how it sounds. Unless you're German, then it's spelled with the C because they'd want to spell it with a K. Anyway, that's dumb. There are only 2 free carpals in the avian wrist, compared with 10 or more and most other vertebrates. The hand itself includes 3 otherwise the some of it would break right off. You realize that's why they do it. Otherwise, it would break right off. That's the air is not made of nothing. So it's when these are okay. Think about how big your wings would have to be to lift you off the ground. Okay, so and even then, just to lift you off the ground, it would require a ridiculous amount of force with those wings. So it would crush up your bones into oblivion. It's all right. So I don't know. It's just if you sit down and you think about it. Thank you. If you sit down and you think about it, it makes some sense. So and the more flight bird has to do, the stronger that joint is. The hand itself includes 3 digits rather than the 5 found in most tetrapods. A similar condition is found in some dinosaur fossils. The alula, or bastard wing, oh, great. What's a bastard wing? The alula, or bastard wing, originates from the first digit. I feel like I'm like, look at that, I'm reading that wrong. It's called a bastard wing. Okay. Originates from the first digit, the thumb, and moves independently of the rest of the wingtip. Oh, okay, I know which one to talk. Okay, okay, all right, that's what I know what you're talking about. Within the wing itself are powerful tendons that and compact packages of tiny muscles that control the muscle details of wing position. Let's see if we can find this on this detail. I don't think it's gonna be there. No. I think that's talking about the yeah, there it is. It's that little piece that comes out that doesn't do anything. It's this. It's let me see if I can find it. It's that one right there. See that right there? That's what it's talking about. If you look at a chicken wing, if you eat chicken wings, it's the part. This is the part you throw out, and that's the part that juts off. They're talking about this part right here. Oops, sorry. Talk about chickens, baby. Talk about chickens. Talk about birds, baby. Talk about birds. It's been a long time since I read I mean, I know most of my shit about birds, but it's been a long time since I've gotten into the nitty gritty. So I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna know some of these words. You're gonna have me sounding these things out like an ape, and that's fine. Flight musculature. Oh yeah, so muscles. Wonderful. That's awesome. I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Let me see. Hold on. I'm skipping ahead. I'm looking real quick. When are we leaving? 8:30. You said it's 8:07. Okay. No, I'm just gonna go until you just give me some time to get shoes on. So shoeless. The two great flight. Okay, the two great flight muscles, pectoral and supracoracoideus. I know that word, just haven't said it in a long time. Originates on the pectoral girdle and insert onto the expanded base of the humerus. The pectoral muscle complex is the largest and accounts for about 15% of the total mass of a flying bird. Contraction of this muscle pulls the wing down in the power stroke. The pectoral muscle attaches to the furcula and the strong membrane between the coracoids and the furcula. It attaches also to the peripheral portions of the sternum, including the outer part of the keel. Hey, everybody picturing all this? In tree trunk climbing birds with shallow keels, such as wood creepers, I'm not familiar with that one. So, such as wood creepers, the pectoral muscle spreads thinly over the rib cage for attachment. So, here they're talking. I'll show this figure real quick. This is the figure they're talking about. This. So this is picture this while they're describing that. All right. The supracoracoideus muscles work in concert with the smaller muscles called the dorsal elevators to lift the wings on the recovery stroke. The supracoracoideus originates from the keel sternum. The strong supracortius. I just feel like I'm saying this word too much, but it's in here all the time. The strong supracortius tendon from which enables the bird to raise its wing from the ventral position, passes upward and forward through the trioceal canal, which is not even on this. Wait, is it? Maybe it's on the next one. No, it isn't. It isn't on either one of these. It's going to show you a figure of it, but they don't. It doesn't. They don't have a figure of it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I hope he caught that. I hope that. No, he's on. But the thousands of people that will hear this, I mean, it might get like 1,000 people for like all eternity might hear that. All right.
Sorry.
Just next time, do it louder.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So everybody can hear. Not just. I don't want to keep you for myself. Okay, I mean, lots of people should be able to enjoy what you have to offer, including that big, yeah, including that huge belch that you just had. So next time, in fact, I mean, I know that you're not like, but if you wanted to come over here, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That'd be too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing. All right. So, thank you, sweetheart. The strong supracortius tendon, which the supracortius is required for the rapid initial wing beats that are essential for clearing the ground quickly and achieving a minimal airspeed. A pigeon is unable to take off from the ground if its supracortius tendon is cut experimentally. Oh, which means they found that out. Oh, Jesus Christ, science. Once launched and airborne, however, pigeons can fly quite well without a functional supracortius, which, with the smaller dorsal elevators handling the less demanding recovery strokes of sustained flight. Where's the okay, so this does have a it's just the same diagram. So we're talking about this muscle right here. How these two muscles work in relation to each other. That's the keels over here. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, the supracortius muscles are much smaller than the pectoral muscles. However, they are large relative to body size in certain birds, in which the upstroke of the wing is a propelling power stroke, not just a recovery stroke. The supracortius. Oh, I wish they should be. I feel like they should be abbreviating this by now. Okay, so of hummingbirds is 5 times larger relative to the body size than in most other birds. It is half the size of the pectoral muscle and comprises 11.5% of total body mass, more than in any other bird. Okay, the supracortius muscle is unusually large also in penguins, whose flippers propel them forward with a powered upstroke. Yeah, because they're doing it in water too, probably. Metabolism in flight muscles. The power for flight derives from metabolic activity in the cellular fibers of flight muscles, some of which have an extraordinary capacity for aerobic metabolism. Various types of muscle fibers employ particular metabolic processes suited to specific modes of flight. The extremes of the variation are red and white fibers, but intermediate fiber types exist. So we're talking about your red, or you're talking about your dark meat and your white meat. Okay, so here I'm just going to show you the figure before I move on. This is what we're talking about right there, most likely. But I haven't looked ahead, so I'm having an educated guess. The sustained. Let me get this in here. The sustained contractile power of red muscle fibers results from oxidative metabolism of fat and sugar. These narrow fibers have high surface to volume ratios and short diffusion distances, which aid in the uptake of oxygen. They also contain abundant myoglobin, mitochondria, fat, and the enzymes that catalyze the chain of metabolic reactions known as the Krebs cycle. Oh, I don't know if we're going to get a Krebs cycle. I doubt even have a Krebs cycle. We have to get a micro book out for the Krebs, or anatomy and physiology for the Krebs, or maybe even Probably, I would say, I don't know. Probably just I don't know. I don't know what's probably micro. Probably a micro book. I don't have a micro book. Anyway, there's this thing called the Krebs cycle. Look it up. It's interesting. Anyway, experimental studies of extracts from pigeon breast muscle, which is rich in red fibers and the associated enzymes, laid the foundations for our present knowledge of aerobic metabolism. Sustained flight power derives Sustained flight power derives from a high concentration of red muscle fibers in the flight muscles. The aerobic or free oxygen capacity of the pectoral muscles of small passerines, these would be your little perching birds, and small bats. Really? Okay. Is the highest level is the at the highest level known for vertebrates. We get it. You're dying. Okay. Few birds have muscle. Few birds have muscle that consists entirely of red fibers. Rather blends of different fibers that combine short-term power with long-term endurance in flight are typical of most birds. Yeah, of course they do, because everybody's going to deal with a little bit of something. Not everybody's going to be a turkey. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a turkey fly. I've seen a turkey clear a 3-story building, but I don't know what happened to him after that. The dark red breast muscle of pigeons consists mostly, but not exclusively, of red fibers. Conversely, the white breast muscle of fowl has a low proportion of red fibers. Extreme cases include sparrows, which have only red fibers in the pectoral muscles, and hummingbirds, which have only red fibers in both pectoral and supracortical muscles. Of course they do. They got to use those things all the time. White muscle fibers are powered by products of anaerobic. Well, that's without oxygen. Okay, so aerobic, whatever. Aerobic metabolism is breathing metabolism. It's processing sugar using oxygen as like the what's the oxidizer. So it would. Oh man, that's a long time ago, so I don't want to misspeak, but it's the process of turning sugar into energy. Um, Using oxygen. Then you can turn sugar into energy without using oxygen. That's your anaerobic respiration or metabolism. So and it's been a long time since there's a robin, finally a bird, dude. All right, and okay, nice. Okay, so honey, finally got a bird. Finally, I'm gonna stop reading and check this bird out, dude. Right there, on the bird bath. So, oh, did you? Cool. There we go. There we go. There's a robin. Oh, robins. They got they got little white eyebrows. Robins are metal. Yeah, they're great, dude. There's one of the ones that'll attack the reflection. I want to see a cardinal do it. I'm really, dude, I don't know where everybody is. This is really weird because I mean, usually aren't we just? Huh? No. I'm talking about the birds, man. I mean, yeah, well, we're gonna go and we're gonna get up and leave in like 10 minutes anyway. Let's see. The white muscle fibers are powered by products of anaerobic or without free oxygen metabolism, unlike red fibers that contain little myoglobin, few mitochondria, and a different set of enzymes. The white fibers are capable of a few rapid and powerful contractions, but they fatigue quickly as lactic acid, a product of anaerobic metabolism, accumulates. So think about so let me finish the paragraph. I'll kind of explain this. The light meat of a breast muscle of the breast muscles of domestic fowl and grouse consists primarily of narrow white muscle fibers, which enable these birds to take off with explosive power. Short-term power of white muscle fibers is useful as well for fast turns, and evasive actions in flight. But the birds tire easily and cannot fly long or far. Now listen, here's what it is. Okay, this is the muscle, the red fiber versus white fiber thing. Imagine how tired you'd. Okay, so you're here we're gonna equate this to your body because I'm assuming you're a human listening to this and not a meat popsicle. Your legs have all your red fibers. Okay, it's a mixture. Okay, but just okay. Take this at face value. Your legs have your red fibers. Your arms have your white fibers. Okay, now your arms are still capable of movement and explosive power, but not like your legs. Now imagine if you had to walk along on your arms and use your legs for the finer things. Wouldn't work out. You tire too easily. I couldn't do it. I am too heavy. I'm bad. I'm bad.
She's the cornflakes.
The Robin does? Talks to cornflakes?
Yes, the cornflakes.
Figures. Look at her. She's just, I mean, I can't tell if it's him or her.
Bart is chilling.
She's just chilling. That bird's just chilling.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was me. Turn this out, though, Judy. I can't do that. Turn this out, though. Somebody. Here. Sorry. Okay. You know what? Here. You know what? That's yeah. We'll get back to flight power. We'll get back to flight power. I'm gonna take Big Mama to work. I'm gonna take Big Mama to work. I'm gonna leave you guys to watch the birds while we get ready to take because her car broke down, and then
we have 2 broken cars now. Our neighbor's car's broke down.
Neighbor's car's broken down too. Oh, isn't that nice?
He gave us 15,000 ahead.
Well,
He just invested 15,000.
now we know who to blame,
Right?
So hey, look, enjoy the birds. Enjoy that one. Enjoy the bird. I guess that one robin who seems to be a little special. And you know, it's wow. They take a lot of that cotton, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's, you know, they gotta build a little nest. You got any more suet? No, none. You went through all that suet. You went through all that. Wow. Okay. Well, they ate through a lot. They okay. Okay. How much does that stuff cost? Can we get some more over at the?
Yeah, I'm off at 1:30.
Can we go get some on the way? No. Okay. Never mind. No. All right. So Big Mama screwed up the suet. No, it's we'll get some more suet. They like the suet. And what is this stuff you put out? What is that? Apples and I don't. Yeah, okay, so this stuff right here in the big Jay fishing. Jay, good morning. Hey, I gotta take Big Mama to work. You missed the thing, but well, I gotta take her to work, and I'm gonna come back real quick, and I'm gonna continue the ornithology. And I'm gonna do as much as I can of that, and then I'm gonna go fishing. So, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna go fishing. You kidding me? I need to get my mom trout. I told her I'd have trout. I can't make an ass of myself. I can't be a liar to my mom. So I gotta catch trout. So I'm gonna scour this town for trout. I'm gonna throw my pole in everything. I'm gonna throw my pole in every hole to find the right fish. From what I hear, there's plenty of fish out there. So I'm gonna throw my pole in every hole I can until I find it. So, all right, homie. Thanks for coming by. If I don't see you later, I'll see you later. No, bro. First of all, I fucked it up. This kid, hey kid, Captain Multiverse, bro. Hey man, I'm sorry I missed you the last few times. I'm about to get off. I gotta go take the old lady to work. But hey, go back. Listen to the ornithology. Okay, we're talking about flight now. We finished feathers. Yeah, feeding the birds, man. It's yeah. Well, I mean, here we go. I mean, there's a right up there on the right is your house sparrow. Right, that's your male. He's flew off. The female's hiding behind there. Can't really see her too well. And then there's a red-breasted robin, American robin, right down there on the there you go. Bye on the bird bath. So yeah. So hey, well, that's all right. Hey, you know what? We'll sit around. We'll talk. How you doing, man? How you doing? Tell me. Remind me where you're at now. We got a few minutes. I've been wanting, we missed each other the last few times. Tell me where in the world you are. You got to remind me. Well, I'm waiting for your answer. Check this out. We put up reflective film. So that's a mirror. That's a mirror. That's a reflection mirror. It's early here still. It's a mirror reflection. Outward side of that, and then we're just kind of getting like a tinted thing, and you kind of see my feet shuffle down there because I'm in this chair and it's my hips killing me. So if in case you missed it, and I'll go say it again. The reason I did that is well for two reasons. One is so they can't see me and get freaked out and fly away, or don't get freaked out and fly away as easily anymore. And also it's during breeding season, courting and everything. The males will get real territorial, and they will. Hopefully, we will be able to see a male attack as a reflection in the glass. It's early, man. It's 8:25 here. I've had a little bit of coffee. I haven't slept that great the last couple of nights, and I'm still a little bit, still a little tired. So, but no, I mean, other than that, I'm fine. But thank you for asking. No, you probably just forgot, or maybe I sound different, or both. You know, who knows? I don't know. It's 8:25 a.m. Uh, right now, presently overcast St. Louis, Missouri. Where are you? Tell me where you're at. Let's just give me a general area. I don't need your address. I seem to remember. I want to guess India. Am I right? Is it India? I want to say India. All right. Perhaps we will never know. Perhaps we will never know. Yesterday, well, maybe just a matter of getting a little bit later, or maybe yeah, so everything's going, dude. Um, so what you're seeing down there is bugs on the right, and then fruit and seeds right in the middle, and then seeds and cotton on the left. And we got the film up and everything, and now we're just we got a if you build it they will come thing going on. You know what I mean? Field of Dreams.
What's your shoes?
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. It's 8:27. We gotta go. I made it door to door in 4 minutes the other day.
Oh no, I'll try to eat. I'm gonna have a break with my
I mean, I'll do whatever. I'm just saying. I made it up there door to door in 4 minutes. That's a nice rush hour right there. Is that right? Are you in India? It's just you and me talking now. So not even the birds are here. It's cold out too, man. My toes are cold. Bro, it's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I think, if memory serves, -6 on the C scale. So it's chilly. Yep. Yeah. Thank you, baby. How many you got so far? We had a really great morning. 173. Okay, well, that's good, man. It's real good. It's a slog, man. It's just look. You have to. I found you have to love doing it. Dude, you have to be in it for the love of the game in the beginning. Well, good for you, man. That's real good for you. It's you know what? I'm really more concerned with having a good time with the kid and expanding my um killing the ignorance and expanding my knowledge and hopefully be able to turn that into some wisdom. That's what it's not the fish I'm after. It's not that. It's time with Big Mama and time with Little Lick, right? Learning about the universe and the world. Oh, is it? I imagine that is, man. Gaming, dudes. Games. That's the nature of games, man. It's competition. Sometimes you're just competing against yourself, but it's always competition. It's kind of like what that's I mean that that adds a little so what's your game? Like what game do you play? Misbehaving. Good to see you again. I'm about to get out of here. I'm getting out of here in like literally like 2 minutes. The birds, I don't know where the birds are, dude. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be back in like 10 minutes. So you're gonna have to I'm sorry to hear about that. The bird we had a robin, we had a couple of house sparrows. I'm expecting to get a whole bunch of those little assholes starlings come by later. But then again, I don't know because it's been kind of a thing. So oh, she took off. Oh no, she didn't. She's back. So um um so yeah. So hopefully they'll be here. I don't know what's going on. It's 20 degrees outside Fahrenheit. That would be -6 Celsius. So who knows? Maybe it's too cold. Maybe it's too early. Maybe there's a hawk flying above. Maybe I don't, I don't know. But they'll be here soon enough. All right, look, misbehaving, Captain Multiverse. You guys have a good day. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna drop the old lady off at work, and I'm gonna come right back. And then we're gonna talk about we're talking more about flight. Okay, everybody cool with that? Good. Bye. All right. All right. In the back. All right. Just walked in the door. When he gets she's so her car died. It sucks. We gotta find her a new car. It sucks when you're like an emergency buyer. You know, it's so much better to not have to buy, to want to buy. You know. You're welcome, baby. Hope you have a good day at work. So, seeing as well, we'll get into my story another time. I'm gonna be here doing this with you. All right, then let's see here. Flight. Back to flight. Now, this, I mean, I don't know if you've been able to tell so far, but it's been a long time since I've heard a lot of these terms. And so you're gonna hear me fumble around with some of these things. I'm gonna be able to explain some things, and I'm not gonna be able to explain other things. So if I'm not explaining it and you want an explanation, you're just gonna have to take it upon yourself to look it up, or you can shout it out in the comments, and if I can, I sure will. Okay, so here we go. To stay aloft, sorry, we go. Bird power. Wait, was this where we were? Yeah, that's where we were. All right. Bird flight power. Flight power. To stay aloft, birds must overcome the force of gravity with an equal and opposite set of forces. Obviously, wings are important in this effort, and the precise description of the aerodynamic functions of the avian wing is extremely complex. We can begin to understand how the wings of birds develop the countering forces required for flight by considering the nature of lift, an aerodynamic phenomenon that is caused by differential pressures created on the opposite surfaces of an airfoil. All right, so let's get back into let's get to this. This is what they're talking about. Oh man, the sun's right on my face. That's what they're talking about. That the airfoil. Okay, lift. First of all, lift. Okay. All right. We can begin. Okay, we can begin to understand how the wings of birds develop the countering force. Okay, so the wings of birds are airfoils, as are the wings of airplanes. Correct orientation of the airfoil with respect to passing air produces the net upward force called lift, which keeps a bird or an airplane airborne. Lift results in part from the different speeds at which air flows past the upper and lower surfaces of the airfoil. Owing to the faster air speeds on the curved upper side of the wing, pressure on that surface is less than the pressure on the underside of the wing, generating a net upward force. The phenomenon of lift is an expression of the Bernoulli principle. Bernoulli's principle relates air pressure to air velocity. The movement of gaseous molecules in the atmosphere creates pressure on any surface they strike. The random Brownian motion of molecules in still air is still equal in all directions, creating omnidirectional pressure called static pressure. Wind, on the other hand, imparts directional or dynamic pressure, and the force increases with air velocity. As the energy and dynamic pressure increases, that present in static pressure decreases. The sum of the two pressures remains constant. Thus, fast moving air imparts less pressure against an adjacent surface than slower moving air, causing a net force upward in the case of the paired surfaces of an airfoil. Proof of this can be seen in if one blows gently over. I was gonna say this. So good. I'm glad he's just gonna say it, so I don't have to. Proof of this can be seen if one blows gently over the upper surface of a piece of tissue paper. The tissue rises or straightens out because of the net upward pressure on the lower side. The unequal pressures that develop as air flows over the surfaces of a bird's wing have the same effect. So, so it's curved on one side, flat on the other, and oh, there's a cardinal. Okay, come on down. Okay, so, oh, he is beautiful. All right, he's gonna come down. He's on top of the feeder. Oh, damn it! There he goes. He's down there now. All right, I'm gonna tilt this up so we can see up there a little better. We can maybe. Yeah, that's gonna work. Well, I tried. They'll come down. They'll come down. Don't worry. They'll come down. They'll come down. He was. Oh man, he's a gorgeous bird. So I'm hoping maybe even now that he might come over this glass. And of course, if anything happens in that transparent feeder that I got over there, I'll point the camera at it. Okay, so the orientation of a wing in the air current affects the balance of direction of the pressures on the surface and thus the amount of lift. Obviously, if the rear of the wing or airfoil is tilted upward so that the air strikes the upper surface directly, surface pressures will oppose flight. As the rear edge of the wing is tilted downward, increasing the angle of attack, lift increases. This is why airplanes have flaps. If the wing is tilted too far downward, the airstream no longer follows the contours of the streamlined surface of the airfoil, and a partial vacuum develops next to the upper surface, and that's why they stall. Air then eddies into the low pressure space from the rear edge of the wing, blocks the backward flow of air over the upper surface, and causes the total loss of lift or a stall. Okay, I got there before they did, but anyway, you get the same place. A stall. When an airplane lands, the pilot purposefully stalls by increasing the airfoil's angle of attack just before the wheels touch the runway. Birds also control the angle of their wings and stall just before landing. When a large bird, such as a oh, I thought we had a so those are house sparrows. Okay, and they look. Like I said, get out of the way. Okay, there's a cardinal. There he is. Oh man, is he pretty? He's a pretty bird. Look at him down there on the feeder. They're on the bath. It's a pretty bird. So look at him. Wow. That's a healthy bird. I love cardinals. I love it that we get cardinals here. It's just like everyone, a lot of other birds. You get the occasional goldfinch, which are awesome. But I love these. I love having cardinal in a town that has cardinals. I don't have. I have this reflective film on the bottom pane of my window, but not the top pane. Because I don't know. I didn't buy enough. So that I didn't really. It was kind of a try. It was more. It wasn't as much trial and error as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to get another roll of it because we use the whole roll covering this window. So I'm going to get another roll of it and cover the top sheet too. Sorry, I'm just watching this guy out the window. Turns out this reflective film was a pretty good idea. I mean, they can't see me for anything. Although I can get real close. I get real close. Anyway, back to the birds. When a large bird, such as a gull, stands on the edge of a sea cliff facing into the wind, I noticed this about the geese at the pond, the Canada geese. So these guys, if I don't know if you even know, I think I don't know if I posted this. I know that I posted them taking off in slow mo. I like to catch things in slow mo. I don't like to go and get it in regular and then go back and slow moify it. No, I like to get it in slow mo. But I've only gotten to do that. I think. Well, I did whenever done. It's but I've noticed that when they do this, they do what aircraft carriers do. So we're still talking about airplanes. They what they do is so the honk. They're like the guys, I want to go, or one guy will go, I want to go, and the rest of them will go. All right, we'll go in a minute. Okay, so then they like kick it for a minute, and then the guy goes, I'm going, and the other guys are going. The other guys go, oh no. Then they give a little honk, and then they all get in their V, and then they face into the wind, and then they go, all right, I'm going, and the other guys go, all right, I'm with you, and then they go. It's awesome to see. I haven't gotten that. I don't think I've gotten that whole process yet, but that's what they do. It's kind of cool. Same thing with the aircraft carrier. They point it in the wind so they can get as much lift off the deck as they can because they're such slow speeds, comparatively speaking. So they got to get as much lift as they can. So they achieve getting that extra lift via the Bernoulli effect by facing the ship into the wind and fold the flaps all the way back or extending the flaps all the way back and launching off that son bitch. Anyway. Anyway, okay, so what was I saying? When a large bird, such as a gull, stands on the edge of a sea cliff facing into the wind, the flow of air across its outstretched wings generates lift, the amount of which increases by the square of the velocity of the air stream. Okay, so what does that mean? That's um it doesn't take much to get more lift. So I think that's what that means. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Once you get lift, it doesn't take much to get a little more lift. I think that's what that means. So, um, alternatively, in still air, the gull may have to jump off the cliff with wings outstretched. As it drops downward, its airspeed increases and lift increases to the point of real flight. Birds that do not launch themselves from cliffs or trees may supplement the initial forward thrust by running as they take off, as the Canada geese do. Diving ducks and cutes skitter over the water until airborne. In the outer half of the wing, each primary functions as a smaller, separate airfoil. Yeah, okay, so it's an airfoil made up of a whole bunch of airfoils. It's a flying it's a flying fractal. Nah, it's not really. Together they produce forward thrust, as does the propeller of an airplane. To produce forward thrust, the airfoils of propellers and of primaries move vertically rather than horizontally through the air. As the leading edge of the primary slices the air column during the downstroke, the net pressure on the back surface pushes the feather forward. So, is this as the main vein goes up and down, the barbs and barbells side side pushes the air out the back, so to speak. As the leading, That's what it said. The 90-degree rotation of the horizontal airfoil shifts the direction of the net pressure from upward lift to forward thrust. Control of the angle of attack of each primary by tendons and by the natural responses of the flexible vanes to air pressure results in a continuously integrated system of feather positions as the wing flaps through the air. So the wing the feathers, some feathers are controlled automatically. Kind of like some of our functions are controlled automatically, like our heartbeat and our breathing, things like that. Certain, the some certain nervous functions, our digestion, um, lots of stuff is controlled by the nervous system. You don't know what's happening. So, the same thing here. Uh, but with feathers, I mean, their bodies can adjust the positions of these feathers to address their immediate needs in terms of flight, which is, I mean, you need that because some of these things go so fast, and it's like, how the shit do they do that? It's in the DNA. It's in there. The forward forces of thrust produced by the propeller-like primaries are transferred to the inner wing, the horizontal movement of which creates the upward forces of lift. The result is forward flight. Slow motion movies of birds in flight, especially as they take off or land, reveal the functional details of wing position. The wing is not just a flat, broad structure that flaps up and down. About 50 different muscles control the wing movements. Some muscles fold the wing, others unfold it. Some pull the wing upwards, others pull it down, and still others adjust its orientation. So yeah, yes, it's a complex movement. If you go back and look at some of mine, I have a whole video that I put up recently. It's mostly geese, and it's a little bit of a great blue heron that I saw, which is, he's clumsy. It was funny. But it was lots of geese taking off, and you can see, and it isn't just an up and down movement. It's a graceful fly. It's a graceful folding and unfolding, just like this book says. Hey, you know what, Gil, Dr. Gill, absolutely, you're right. You painted me a picture. Rare for a scientist. I jest, Doc. I jest. It's a great book you have here. Some muscles fold the wing on others unfold. Some pull the wing up. Okay, so for example, when a goose takes off, here we go. Geese. Oh, look at that beautiful cardinal right there. Look at that. Come on, show me your pretty face. Show me your pretty face. Is that from? Oh, there she is. There they both are. Hang on. Let me see if I can get them. They're there. There they both are. He's behind the feeder. She is down on the bath. Look at them. Look at them. All right. So there, look, see, yeah, there they are. So Cardinals made for life, or well, they made for life. Yeah. That beak is really, really powerful. I have not been bitten by a cardinal. However, I've been bitten by a buffalo weaver. Yeah, look at him. Nobody wants to screw with the cardinal beak. You see that? Uh, um, so because they hurt, man. They got their favorite food is sunflower seeds, so they got to use that really powerful beak to break over those sunflower seeds. Um, and they don't hold them against a branch and peck at them. They actually hold them in their beak and crush them. So something scared them away. Wasn't me. I didn't do shit. Wasn't me. Anyway, those cardinals look good, don't they? Anyway, the birds finally showed up. The birds finally showed up. For example, when a goose takes off, its wrists rotate at the beginning of the downstroke so that the primaries drive forward and down at a sharp angle, creating forward thrust. The nearly horizontal angle of attack of the inner wing produces upward lift. These angular relationships are maintained through the downstroke. Next, at the beginning of the recovery or upstroke, its wingtips rotate backward so that the primaries provide some lift and some forward thrust. Lift decreases because airspeed is reduced during this wing stroke. To compensate, the bird increases the inner wing's angle of attack. By maintaining a correct angle of attack, the wing supports the bird's weight through the entire wing beat. Lift and thrust forces on various parts of the wing are continuously integrated during the normal wing beat. So it's saying that even on the even when they're not pushing down on the downstroke, and when they fold their wing in, it's tilted up in such a fashion that even though they're not putting effort into the downstroke, they're still getting lift because they increase the angle. They momentarily increase the angle of attack to maintain the lift. Okay, so it's still they're still doing. I'm not using this in a physics sense, but they're still doing work to go up. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know the physics of it. I've never done I'm not going to do the physics math of it. Maybe you could help me out there, Captain Multiverse, with your physics studies, but I do not know it. But and that's for better brains than mine to figure out. The inner and outer wing sections in smaller birds do not function so contrastingly with respect to lift and thrust. Typically, the wing beats are faster and recovery strokes, especially, are more rapid. The entire wing acts like a single large propeller with some accessory propellers in the wingtip. All right, hang on a second. A lot of talking, need a drink. So it's just me here now. So I'm gonna just spark up a butt and wait for someone else to show up. No, I'm not gonna do that. So there's a graphic here about the motion of wing beats, but it's pretty basic and it's not really worth showing because I just explained it, and I think I explained it better than this. I think this picture will just kind of confuse it. Little lift is achieved. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do. I'm not going to be able to do this whole chapter. Well, let me see how long this is. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this whole chapter today, though. Yes, I don't have time for it. But we'll just cut it up into pieces, and I'll do another chapter. Or I'll either conclude it or continue it next time. But doesn't matter. We're not at the end yet. Dry your eyes out. We're not at the end yet. Gather round, children. Let's continue. Little lift is a little lift. Oh, it's a little ick. Little lift. I'll say it again because I'm a tard. Little lift is achieved on the recovery stroke, during which the primaries are separated to minimize air resistance. Slot between adjacent flight feathers aid fine control of the air moving over the wing surface and thereby aid in the extraction of energy. Excuse me. Slots are cracks or holes through which air squeezes. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize that in my head. Sorry. Slots are cracks or holes through which air squeezes, producing two kinds of results. First, some slots control the flow of air over the airflow to maintain some lift, not only at slow speeds, but also at high attack angles of the wing when a bird is stalling. The extended alula creates a lot of that's that little thummy thumb thing. The extended alula creates a slot that controls airflow, um, especially during landing and takeoff. When forward thrust is minimal, and extra lift is essential. Sorry, when that was all. Let me go back. The extended alula creates a slot that controls airflow, especially during landing and takeoff when forward thrust is minimal and extra lift is essential. That's how you word. Second, air forced from beneath the wing through a slot expands on the upper side, reducing the pressure there and increasing lift. The slots in the wingtips of many soaring birds, such as the California condor, function this way. So also does the crack between the rear edge of the wing and the fore edge of the spread tail. Rear edge of the wing and the fore edge of the spread tail. Oh, okay. I was like, I think I know what he's talking about. Oh, it's just talking about when I think it's just talking about when the tail feathers fan out. Anyway, birds maneuver and focus. So sick. That was I don't know what that was. Trying to contact me, but perhaps we will never know. Birds maneuver in flight by controlling the patterns of lift and thrust. No aircraft yet approaches the average bird's acrobatic maneuverability. The tail acts as a rudder and a brake. Even more important is the bird's control of each wing independently. Asymmetrical wing actions enable the bird to steer, turn, and twist. By flapping with one wing oriented for forward flight and the other wing oriented for backward flight, the bird can execute an abrupt turn. Setting the wings in a partially folded position reduces the amount of lift, enabling the bird to lose altitude gradually while gliding. By setting one wing back farther than the other, the bird adds curvature to its glide path. Slow motion photographs of birds during aerial maneuvers, chases, and landings reveal the precise changes in wing position that control body orientation and airspeed. Birds rarely crash. I saw one do it right into my garage door, headlong, being chased by. If you're being chased by a hawk, you might crash. I never been chased by a hawk, but this bird, it did not see the garage door coming. Elaborate use of the wings in landing is a partial feature of avian flight. Landing on elevated or arboreal perches. It is a feat that requires exceptional control of flight trajectory. Yeah, sometimes I don't know how the hell they do these things. Like, I don't. I mean, well, guess we're finding out, aren't we? Birds are unique among flying vertebrates in the way they land. Aerial species such as bats, flying squirrels, and certain lizards. There's a starling. See him down there? See, starlings are not dumb. He's figured out that landing on that thing is too light, and it's just gonna upset him. So he fell off. Okay, bye. So he's figured out that it's better to just stand on the sill, on the windowsill, and peck at it from there. Which is, I'm a smart guy. That's what I do too. Okay, so make contact with their forelimbs and then rotate their bodies downward until the hind feet touch the landing surface. So they land hands first, and then they grab on with their feet. But that's not what birds do. Variations exist, but only birds rotate the center of mass upward to stall directly over the landing site, which means they land with their feet. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm gonna let's see here. Oh, what the hell? Let's continue. A study in control, hummingbird flight. The control displayed by birds in flight greatly exceeds that achieved by piloted aircraft, and the control displayed by hummingbirds in flight is outstanding among birds. The hummingbird can move forward from stationary hovering just by changing the direction of the wing beat, because every angle produces a different combination of lift and thrust. Forward velocities increase as the wings beat in an increasingly vertical plane. This rotation of the wing is made possible by the unusual structure of the humerus and its articulation with the pectoral girdle. The secondaries of a hummingbird's inner wing are short, and the outer primaries are elongated to form a single specialized propeller. The complete stroke of the wingtip describes a figure 8 pattern. I'm going to show you this shortly. Crawford Greenwald took high speed movies of hummingbird flight and then studied them at slow speeds to discover how hummingbirds achieved their remarkable control. He concluded that hummingbird flight resembles that of a helicopter, or more precisely, a novel combination of airplane and a helicopter, in which the propellers rotate about a horizontal axis to produce various combinations of lift and forward thrust. I guess kind of like an osprey, not an osprey bird, an osprey airplane. Greenwald describes the action thus. And I'm going to quote him. I hope this guy knows how to speak English. We all know how scientists speak, don't we? Not as good as, not better than scientists write. I'm telling you, scientists, do yourselves a favor. Hire writers to write your papers for you. Do it. I mean, explain the data to them. Have them write it. Okay. Then you get a scientifically literate citizenry. This is what we're talking about right here. This is the graphic, the hummingbird graphic. It's that. Okay. Nope. Sorry about that. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Sorry. I geeked that up. So, wrong page. So this is quoting Greenwald. Okay. In hovering flight, the wings move backward and forward in a horizontal plane. On the down or forward stroke, the wing moves with the long leading edge forward, with the feathers trailing upwards to produce a small positive angle of attack. On the backstroke, the leading edge rotates nearly 180 degrees and moves backward, the underside of the feathers now uppermost and trailing the leading edge in such a way that the angle of attack varies from wingtip to the shoulder, producing substantial twist in the profile of the wing. So he's just saying that forward and backward, that bird's producing lift. Like the wings of insects, the wings of birds and their controlling musculature function as mechanical oscillators with intrinsic elasticity. Thanks, Greenwald. Okay, so, oh, jeez, okay, okay, just you figure it out. Two properties of mechanical oscillators: constant rhythms and symmetrical strokes, and independence of the rhythm on the size of the oscillator are evident in the wing beats of birds. As an example of the first property, the rate of the wing beat of ruby-throated hummingbirds, which we have here in Missouri, is essentially constant at about 53 strokes per second. And the duration of the second property of the mechanical oscillators, the wing beat rates of various species of hummingbirds and most other birds decrease predictably with increasing wing length. These observations have important implications for the natural oscillating frequency. So implications for the neuromuscular basis of avian flight. Once the wing beat rate reaches its natural oscillating frequency, the nerves and muscle fibers responsible for sustaining the rhythm need to fire perhaps once every four beats, like a child continues to swing back and forth with only an occasional push by a parent. So they're doing it without even thinking about it. Basically, what they're talking about. The wings, they're going so fast. It's like, okay, it's like this. I think their brains, their musculature and their nervous system have developed such that they have to spend so much time flapping those little tiny wings to do all that crazy stuff they do, that the brain doesn't even think about it anymore. They're only thinking about every fourth or fifth. That fat dog out there. um, every fourth or fifth wing beat. Okay, it's like us. It's like your nose is in the middle of your face. Your brain sees your nose. Your eyes see your nose. Your brain edits it out of your vision. Okay, if you really think about it, you look down, you can see your nose. But when you're going about your daily life, your nose doesn't get in the way because your brain edits it out of your vision. So it does. The long and the short of it doesn't think about it. Okay, so your same thing happens here. The wing beats. It's such a normal occurrence, a typical occurrence of the daily life of a hummingbird. It doesn't think about them. But but when it needs to. So that's just what it's saying. Okay. All right. So I think this is going to be my last section here, and then I'm gonna just call it a day for this. Get my stuff together and get out of here. Then we'll continue with flight tomorrow. But we're going to talk about friction, turbulence, and drag. And then we're going to stop, and I'll leave you to watch the birds. All right, friction, turbulence, and drag. Perfectly smooth, frictionless flow perfectly smooth, frictionless flow over air. So he's the kid freaking talk here. Perfectly smooth, frictionless flow of air over an airflow is only an ideal. Any slight air turbulence or slowing of air molecules on contact with real surfaces reduces the force of lift and thrust. Negative forces that oppose a bird's movement through the air is called drag. Drag forces interact with lift and thrust to determine the power requirements for flight. So the more things that induce drag, the more things are going to have to induce flight. It's a balancing act, but it's gonna the power for flight is gonna have to overcome the forces of drag. That's what it's saying. The two primary categories of drag are parasitic drag and induced drag. Parasitic drag includes all forms of friction between the air and a bird's body and wing surface. Profile drag included by some in parasitic drag, uh, included by some in parasitic drag. Okay, is the reduction in thrust that results from friction between the wing surfaces and the airstream. If the leading edges of the wings were as thin as a sharp knife blade, profile drag would be minimized because a blunt surface presents a larger area for interaction with the air. For the same reason, it is easier to throw a frisbee than a soccer ball into the wind. Both parasitic and profile drag increase with airspeed, making it harder to throw a frisbee or a ball or to fly into a strong wind than into a light wind. Sorry, getting down the bottom of the page, couldn't see over myself. Induced drag is caused by disruptions of the airstream by the eddies and turbulence that inevitably arise from the differences in air pressure that produce lift. Air tends to air tends to move around the airfoil from regions of high pressure beneath the wing to regions of low pressure above the wing. Turbulence contributing to induced drag results from opposite flows of the airstream toward the wing tip on the undersurface of the wing and towards the base of the wing on its upper surface. The resulting eddies on the rear edge of the wing and pronounced wingtip vortices divert energy that would otherwise contribute to the lift and thrust, thereby reducing flight efficiency. Pointed wings generate less induced drag than rounded ones because the small area of the pointed wingtip produces little pressure difference between the upper and lower surfaces and therefore little compensatory airflow. I understood it. I hope you did too. The eddies of air that it's just saying that the sharper your wingtips are, the less drag you're gonna uh, um, encounter. I mean, duh, right? The eddies of air that whirl off the wings tips of a flying bird can be used to advantage used to advantage by another bird. By flying in V formation, geese, pelicans, and cormorants, for example, take advantage of the rising eddies left by the outer wing of the preceding bird. All but the leader of the formation save energy in this way. Well, that's why they change positions every once in a while so that someone else can take the brunt of leadership. Induced drag decreases with increasing airspeed because the negative influence of reverse eddies on the lift decreases as the velocity of the main front to rear airstream increases. These relations stem from the different effects of laminar and turbulent airflow in an area called the boundary layer, which lies within 1 millimeter of the wing surface. Airflow changes from laminar to turbulent as velocity increases. Although laminar flow is smooth and streamlined, the airstream at the boundary layer tends to separate from the wing surface, causing large eddies to flow forward from the rear edge of the wing and disrupt the main lift producing airstream. This can even cause stalling. Turbulent flow is disorderly, as its name implies, but its greater momentum keeps the boundary layer from separating from the airfoil surface. Therefore, fewer disruptive eddies form, and lift is maintained over more of the wing surface. It basically says that better feathers. Okay, um, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right here, um, and you guys can keep watching the birds. I'm gonna leave the camera on. I'm gonna get some stuff together. I still gotta do things, man. And I gotta get out of here. So, but you guys enjoy the birds. Thanks for coming by. All you guys that came by. I missed you, J man. But we'll see you later. Come on down for the next one. Um, all right, y'all be good out there. People don't think nature be like it is, but it too.